So if you're a 13 or 14-year-old who wants to learn about what should I be doing when I have a partner, what kind of responses and reactions should I expect from my partner, what do women want, what do you guys want? And porn is my teacher. Now, no parents are talking to me about it. The teachers are kind of reluctant to go there. I don't have access to any other media, which is really telling me about it. And remember, 80% of most of the scenes have verbal or physical aggression by a man towards a woman. So the really eager to learn and impressionable mind of a 13 or 14-year-old boy or girl is going to, okay, right.
Girls love it when you slap them.
Yeah. And the more demeaning things I say to them, they seem to appreciate it. And so that's one, I'm going to do that. And if I rough them up, I've never once seen a woman in porn leave because they've been hit. They stay there, and I think it's just part of it. It must be, because no one's ever left.
Choking.
Women must love being strangled, because so many of the women in porn get strangled and choked, and they never leave either. And even if they say don't do it, the man does it anyway.
And everyone has an orgasm.
Everyone has an orgasm then. And actually, the main thing is that the man does. If the woman
Most
does,
importantly.
doesn't really matter.
Is it even a thing?
So that's the education that young people are getting, because that's the scenes. The porn industry is the area that gives most attention to sex for young people. Teachers don't do it, parents don't do it.
Right.
So porn is their teacher. It's their biggest influencer. So that's why, to go back to what we said a while ago, it was fine in our day to tell yourself as an adult that, you know what, we learned when we were kids the hard way.
Figured it out.
Let these teens learn the hard way. And because you can't prescribe how they should behave. There's certain experiences you can only learn on the job, so to speak. And that's true. But it's too unsafe for them now to let...
I agree.
To let porn do it for them.
I talked to my friend yesterday. She has 2 boys. One is just turned 16. One will be 13 this summer. And she is from California, like myself, and also a therapist. And she's been telling her boys, like, the whole time from the beginning. And her 16-year-old is like a athlete stud. Like, he's got a girlfriend there. I don't know if they're... I'm not saying names, I don't know. But it's a good thing. And she's told him, like, right from the beginning, like, listen, girls take longer. Like, it's going to be so much easier for you than for the girl. You guys have to talk about it. And by the way, all girls are different. Don't be thinking because
it being sex.
It being orgasms.
Okay.
Like, you will have an orgasm a lot easier than girls will. Like, it'll take time. Like, don't. And this boy, he's like, yeah, it's really important to talk. So I talked to him yesterday and I said, do your friend, I was like, well, is this the new trend? I was like, Richie's going to be so happy. He's like, do your friends have moms and parents that talk like this too? They're like, no. And I was like, oh my God, so you're going to be the guy. You're going to be the guy that knows some stuff that they can come to. This is my wishful thinking. Like, preach to the boys. I just don't want people having shitty sex. Girls too. Because we have such shitty sex in the beginning because we don't know anything anyway.
Like no one knows any. Like
no one knows that. You're still not going to know anything until you do it, even with education.
Yeah.
But at least, okay, so if we're having so much trouble with this, then I'm thinking that my dream of actually teaching sexually active kids how to make sweet love is probably a pipe dream, isn't it?
In this country, you might be stepping on too many toes.
Could you imagine though? Because here's the thing: if we want them to listen, because I was like, would you guys like if there was a class on how to kiss, the rest of the relationship stuff, so it isn't just like touching 101. If it was like all of it, like teaching them.
I think you can.
How amazing would that be?
You can't. Anyone under 18 in this country is a child, and it's just too much of a leap to think that we could go into children and break down sexual acts and start kind of technique training them and stuff like that.
But porn is doing it.
Of course.
Porn is doing. It's just not. Like I hear you.
So the rest of us are burdened with this kind of ethical, moral compass where we go, we need to be age appropriate here. We need to respect the development of kids. But no one online is.
I know. So
But that's
what's
the
the?
reality. So that's
I
the
know.
conundrum. You're like going, so should we talk to the 13-year-old about anal sex because they've seen 95 scenes where it's happened?
Well, your class did.
Mm.
The lady came on in your documentary and was like,
Yeah.
just real quick about anal sex. Listen, men's anuses, men's butts can handle somehow more
I think
than the
I
women's.
think,
And
yeah, we had a female doctor in and she was great. We were discussing the STIs and ways in which you could prevent them being transmitted. We talked about pregnancies and all the different things that can occur during a pregnancy. And we talked about anal sex deliberately. And I was really keen to make sure that scene made the final cut because it's the kind of topic loads of people just want to stay away
they're
from.
like, what is, well, that is sodomy. The
and
Bible is clear on.
And I think her phrase was, he said, I think a male anus is more resilient for anal sex. I think it's a lovely way she phrased it.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
And then she did actually say she's got several female patients in her practice who
Are incontinent
yeah,
or whatever is the
Yeah.
word for.
who kind of I'm going to use the wrong medical terms, like the muscle in her anus was no longer
The sphincter.
that you could control. So things like farting and pooing, they just lost the control of that. And these are
Nobody wants that.
relatively young women, and
Yeah.
it was as a direct result of having anal sex without taking the necessary steps beforehand that you might prepare yourself
Right,
for such a
because
thing.
of porn, it's like they're like, oh,
You don't
anal now.
You
And
don't
that's not
see
the way.
off camera all the preparing that might go on in a woman's body to prepare for anal sex, and they've had the discussion as to when it's going to happen. That might stop the filming. So you know all this. I don't need to talk to you about how films are shot and between takes, but that's what happens in porn. So a youngster doesn't see any of that, has no concept of that. They think, all right, if I just put
They're
it
not
in.
critical.
Yeah.
They're not critical yet. They're just seeing things.
So this is one of the main kind of threads through any discussion I have with young people about porn, whether it's one-on-one in a practice or whether it's a group workshop. It's to nudge them or really encourage or push them towards starting to critically reflect and critically assess what they're watching. So be excited by it, be aroused, like it, fine. That's not what I'm saying. But the scene that you're watching, like a stupid example, a pizza guy delivers pizza.
Classic.
The
story.
woman happens to be naked at the door.
I mean-
and so you just step back and go, okay, that's fine. It's fantasy. That's not going to happen in the real world.
Correct.
And then maybe some of the more sinister stuff where there's violence and aggression.
Yes.
Step back a little bit, kind of going, how would that behavior in my life, in my community, play out for me if I was to engage in that? And if my partner was to go through what the woman in that scene went through and I was the man in that scene, what would be the impact in our relationship? Would it be a pleasurable experience for her? Would I like to be known by my partners as the guy who does that to my partners? And you kind of bring it back to them.
That's beautiful.